I'm going to try my best to explain this one. This one is Happily Ever After for the girls and the middle schoolers. Since I don't have any music, I'm just going to talk it out. And if you need to really pay attention to a dance move, you can look in the mirror, and it should work itself out. Anyway, it starts out with Be Our Guest, and the stage should look like this. Ta-da! Okay. And so on B, stage right, we'll bevel. So B, stage left, we'll bevel on our. So B, our. And then they're going to bevel bounce. Guest, be our guest, put our serves to the test. Tie your, and then they're going to switch bevels. Tie your napkin round your neck, Cherie, and we'll provide the rest. I'll do that with the hands. Tie, so if stage right was over here, and you can mirror the other side. So put our service to the test. Tie your napkin round your neck, Cherie, and we'll provide the rest. And then, we provide the rest. And whichever side they're on, they're going to go out first. So, soup du jour, hot arm hors d'oeuvres. So doing a fan. 2 times out, and then in 2 times. Why we only live to serve. So that should bring them back to the same spot. At this point, they should be holding a tray with the other hand behind their back. And it's, try the gray stuff, it's delicious, don't believe me. And that's somebody's solo. But they're going to lean in, ask the dishes. So try the gray stuff, it's delicious, don't believe me, ask the dishes. They can, and keep the tray out. They're going to grapevine to the right. This is everyone, this is no longer mirroring each other. The mirroring stopped after the fans. So everyone should have turned to the right, ask the dishes, and everyone's tray should be in their left hand. They can sing, they can dance, don't believe me, this is France. After all, dear, this is France. You don't worry about it. And then, after all, dear, this is France. And then they're going to do a pencil turn. And the dinner here is never second. And then to the left diagonal on best, they're going to lift up their tray. And the dinner here is never second best. And it should hit on st. They can, go on, they can go back to a normal position facing forward. Go on, unfold your menu, take a, so 2 pivots, go on and pivot, take a glance, so go on and fold your menu, take a glance, and then you'll be just a big fan arm, and they should be in a normal power stance position. Glance, and then you'll be and everyone, I'll call this the sorority sisters bend. Glance, and then you'll be our guest. Be our guest. And then the other way, so be our guest, be our guest, be our guest. And then they're going to, on night, tonight, so be our guest, tonight, come back up. And it's just a small march to get to their next positions. So tonight you'll prop your feet up, now let's eat up. And their next positions, they're going to be doing a kick line. And so I'm getting them prepped for a kick line.
right there. However many people need to be in each line, and in windows, obviously. But close enough because they need to put their arms behind one another. Okay.
So that's just tonight you'll prop your feet up and they're getting in position. And then be our guest. They should put their hands behind one another's backs. Be our guest. And then on please, that's when they start their kick line. Step, kick, please be our guest. And this should be at a 45-degree angle. You don't need to kick your face off. So, please be our guest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then they start moving, because next is Cruella de Vil, and that's during the vamp. Let's see. They should be in clumps. Their position should be in clumps. And this is when we start using the risers.
It should semi look like this. You can change it, but circles equal clumps. The boxes are the risers, obviously.
Okay, and everyone except for the soloist should be facing backwards. So everyone should have turned around, and they should lean into their left leg, so they should bevel their right leg. And they're going to do a sassy bevel snap while the singer's going. So it starts on Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil. If she doesn't scare you, then no evil thing will. And then everyone, when they start singing, they're just going to turn around with a nice little turn. On to see her take a shot, to see her is a sudden kind of chill. And on chill, they'll do chill. And then they're gonna turn back around on Cruella de Vil. And how I've been turning around is I'm doing sort of a sassy turn back around so I can start snapping again. So da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, chill, Cruella de Vil, da-dun-dun-dun-dun, da-dun-dun-dun-dun, da-dun-dun-dun-dun. And the people on the floor can spin and turn around for the next part. The people that are on the risers need to turn and step down off of the risers because I don't trust them with the next part on the risers. And as soon as they turn around or get off the risers, they need to spread out. I don't care where they spread out to, but they need to spread out. And half of the group you can assign, this is so simple, it should honestly, you should line them up and just go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The ones go to the right first, the twos go to the left first. And it'll look really cool because it's supposed to weave. It's gonna be a jazz sassy walk. 4 times if you're starting to the right. And that gets us to, so we just turned. The world was such a wholesome place until, and then Cruella de Vil, and they're going to need to do a hitch, not a hitch, just a prep step to get out of that. So, Cruella de Vil, and step, Cruella de Vil. And as soon as they get to the end of the Vil, high schoolers continue to go whatever the direction they are going because they are going off stage. The middle schoolers prep to get into Colors of the Wind. I have nothing choreographed for Colors of the Wind. Cinda, I'm so sorry if that's not your real name. If the middle school teacher wants to choreograph something, so be it. I just had them go back to creating relationships in different clumps. Perhaps the high schoolers could come around and like throw leaves and make it cute. But then the middle schoolers leave and the high schoolers come back in and they create clumps and relationships. And they can use the risers. Both of these numbers can use the risers. But during bell, people should be just paying attention to one another. It's more of an acty song. There isn't really any dancing. On Good Morning Bell, Good Morning Bell, wave. And whatever you're doing here, you could be sitting, you could be crouching, you could be standing. Half of the group, this is measure 287 at the, oh, isn't this amazing? So if I'm crouching, you need to swing your book to one side or the other. So if I wanted to start swinging my book to the left, so it should be, oh, isn't this amazing? On it, look back out to the audience. It's my favorite part because you'll see. On here, do it to the other side. Here's where she meets Prince Charming. On but she won't discover that it's him till chapter 3. On 3, just put your book down. This is when the trio should stand up and prepare to be sassy. Everyone else, they can let's have them freeze into a position that involves the relationship of the club. And then, everyone starts singing at It's a Pity and a Sin. Stage right should look at stage left. On Pity and a Sin, it's a pity and a sin. Stage left now should respond to stage right. She doesn't quite fit in. And then 5 girls. I want to say 5 from the back because I want everyone to be at the front of the stage by girl. So 5 girls stand up for, cause she really is a funny girl, and then add 5 more. A beauty but a funny girl, she really is a funny girl. And that should, and then, so add, the first 5 stand up on really, and then next 5, beauty, and then the last 5, really, because I think you have 15 people in your class. So, she really is a funny girl, a beauty but a funny girl, she really is a funny girl. And then they should be at the front of the stage for that bell, and then on bell, they are going to start moving to their next positions. This is when the middle schoolers should start arriving back on stage. For every high schooler, there should be 2 middle schoolers for supercalifragilistic. I wrote chicken scratch, but this is what it should kind of look like.
Middle school, high school, middle, high, middle, high, middle. And they should be in groups of 3. This is a lot of opposites. So high schoolers will be doing something different than middle schoolers. The high schoolers, I'll call this like the oompa up and down. The um-diddle-lily, um-diddle-lie, um-diddle-lily, um-diddle-lie. Down and up and down and up and. That's the middle schoolers. Middle schoolers will start down.
So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. High schoolers will start up. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. They do it for 8 counts. Yeah. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Because that gets us. No, I lied. They do this all throughout the solos. So dun 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 dun. The biggest word you've ever heard, and this is how it goes. Oh. And this is the hardest thing about the entire number. Opposite, again. It's the same dance move, but it is opposite. The high schooler, okay, I'll start with the middle school. The middle school, they're going to go backwards first and then forwards. They are going to bounce to the left. And this is for every supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So it's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So they should always bounce to the left first. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it, and then they're going to go forward, is something quite atrocious if you say it loud enough. But they're only doing it for the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It should go supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and then they will stay right here. And then they will talk. It should look like a triangle now with the high schooler going forward and the middle schoolers going back. Bam. And so the triangle will look in and they will talk to each other. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. And then they will look out. If you say it loud enough, you'll only sound precocious. So they do the fancy thing. Dun, 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 look in. Look out. Dun, 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 dun. High schoolers. Instead of going backwards first, they're going forward. And they will always bounce to the right first. Supercalifragilistic, and they will kick with their left foot. I lied. Yeah. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it. But this is, they'll look in. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, it'll always sound precocious. So, yeah. High schoolers should go forward first. They bounce to the right first. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Dun 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 dun. Backwards. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Middle schoolers. It should go. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. I lied. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So every time, good key, every time they sing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious normally, like that, they will do that dance. Then they should be back to their trios for another So back to, if you're a middle schooler, so only twice. High schooler. And then measure 384 You sing supercalifragilistic 4 times, so that means you do that dance 4 times. As a middle schooler, it should go supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, 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 supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. High school should go forward first. Remember, they bounce to the right. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I messed up. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, 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 supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And that should get them back to their normal groups of 3. And then, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. They should just sing supercalifragilistic, and then on X, P, A, Li, those 4 different groups will pose. I recommend high schoolers posing backwards, because on Do, we're going to pivot. So X, B, A, Li, but those are different areas of the stage that we'll be posing. So X, B, A, Li. Then if you're a middle schooler, you will pivot. Well, either way, you will pivot forward, but you should already be facing forward. So Do. Each whole note, they should be moving. So pivot, pivot. If you are a high schooler, so X, B, A, Li, Do. And on Shus, move to an ending pose. And there you have it. That is everything. That's happily ever after.